Cape Horn, the southernmost tip of South America, notorious for some of the roughest seas in the world.
It's like a roller coaster ride.
8 exceptional young adventurers are braving these waters on a demanding expedition.
Oh.
Good effort, Harry. At least you got in a bowl.
Smells so bad.
Following in the wake of some of the world's greatest explorers, they're travelling far from civilization to work with endangered animals.
The wildlife is completely amazing.
The adventurers will be pushed to the very limit as they go to extremes to help the planet.
It's horrible. It's really horrible. Can you just leave me alone? Ah!
This is Serious Ocean. Coming up, an awesome flight over breathtaking glaciers.
Oh my gosh.
You're enjoying pulling out its inside.
Another major bust-up in the group.
I thought it was disgusting, really.
And a marathon journey down an icy field.
It's so amazing. I just love it.
It's 9 days into the expedition, and the team's been involved in some amazing animal research, surveying rare leopard seals, dropping in on a colony of albatrosses, and helping put a satellite tag on an elephant seal.
Really amazing. I really feel like I've done some good.
3, 2.
Sea kayak training left Harry completely spooked.
This was petrifying, but I'm glad I've done it.
David and Sybil spent more time arguing than kayaking,
Shut up!
and got themselves into dangerous waters.
I'm actually really quite annoyed.
The Ocean 8 are at the southernmost tip of South America, sailing in remote waters on an epic voyage around Cape Horn. To keep the expedition on schedule, they've a long sail ahead, retracing their steps and heading down narrow channels to Chico Fiord, where they'll spend a day sea kayaking. It means sailing all evening and through the night. The adventurers will need to split into 2 teams to crew the boat in 4-hour shifts, and Robin volunteers to sort out the rota. But it doesn't go down well with Callum.
No, that's not. This is so unfair. We've got you as well, it's not just you.
His night shift will start at 2:30 a.m.
It's so unfair.
I know, but everyone's doing it, okay?
I know.
What do you want me to do?
I know you can't do anything.
Pete,
and I'm
it's
not
just
blaming you. I'm just saying it's unfair.
Well, you're yelling at me, so I'm just going to leave you.
So I just had a bit of a stroppy moment, and now Robin's shouting at me, and I can't even be bothered.
He'll be on the same shift as David, just as on the last night's sail. On that occasion, David had real trouble staying awake, and the group teased him endlessly.
I'm the most energetic person on this whole trip.
I've never heard such rubbish.
I am the most energetic.
Even so, he's not at all worried about the night ahead.
Just do it. Get it over and done with. I'm quite happy.
As the last of the light disappears, navigating the tight channels gets really tricky.
It's so hard to pick out any land points at all, and I know that the whole boat sort of is resting on me.
You're probably going to have to just do it on the compass now.
Assistant leader Polly keeps a close eye to make sure they stay out of danger.
Okay, just let it come round. And back round, correct it. That's it.
That's good.
Steering takes great concentration in the pitch black, not helped by the constantly broken sleep pattern.
I'm just so tired. It's
Absolutely unbelievable. We've been doing night watches and the day watches, and you don't feel like the day stopped. This was on and on.
Put loads of clothes on. It's freezing out here.
Despite the cold, it's actually summer, and so far south it means the night is extremely short.
enough, it's 2:30 and the sun's rising, which is a bit strange. You learn a new thing every day.
It's time for David and Callum to begin their shift.
David?
And it's well worth the early start.
So am I just going to the left of that mountain?
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
They witness the most stunning dawn of the entire trip.
To be honest, last night I was a real idiot about the shift. I don't know why I was complaining, because this is fantastic. It's just really, really amazing.
And David is a changed person. After taking stick for sleeping on the last night sail, he completely turns the tables.
Oi, Kate, wake up.
We are.
Oh, wake up the others. It's really
Kate, give us a second.
In all, the team cover well over 100 miles, and by mid-morning they reach their destination, the mouth of the Chico Fjord. What none of them know is that a helicopter is on its way to meet them. Expedition leader Ben gathers the adventurers on deck.
Well guys, how are we faring after our night shift?
Feeling alright?
Sleepy? Harry?
Tired.
No, Harry, you were asleep then. Just like, well guys, most importantly, we have an amazing treat today, okay, for one of you.
One of the team is about to get the ultimate view of the area.
Now that person is going to be Charlotte. Right? And the reason for that is that we think that she's a general all-round star around the boat.
To be honest, I am jealous because I'd love to have done it. But if I had to pick someone to go, it would really be Charlotte, because I think she really deserves it.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That is absolutely amazing.
Charlotte is treated to a bird's eye view of the route they'll be taking later.
This is the fjord we're going to be kayaking down this afternoon.
Right.
At the end of the field, Ben points out a beach right by a glacier.
That's where we're going to be tonight.
The aim is for the team to camp overnight on the beach. Just when they thought the glaciers couldn't get any more spectacular,
Look at this straight ahead. It's just literally jaggedy, jaggedy, jaggedy everywhere.
Wow.
and finally the icing on the cake, a rare view of the region's highest peak, Mount Sarmiento.
That is a sight. Sarmiento in all its glory. That's clear 1 day in 100. We are so lucky to see that.
The best bits were flying over the glacier. It was really amazing because you just look down and you just see these big holes full of blue water, and nobody else might have ever even seen them sights, so it was just really amazing.
Back on Valhalla, Polly briefs the others on the plan for the day.
We're going to go sea kayaking. We're going to kayak down Chico all the way to the bottom to sleep overnight there on the beach. It's about a 6-kilometre paddle, so we're looking at 3 or 4 hours of paddling.
David and Sybil clashed badly during yesterday's kayaking, but having trained together, they need to stay in the same boat.
I think we'll patch things up from yesterday. I definitely think we're going to get on today. Sybil?
There's saying it and then there's doing it, and if you don't do it, what's the point of saying it? So I'm going to open my mind and listen to David and help him make that speech come true.
Sybil and David, I want you guys to have a good wee chat and let's enjoy it. This is sea kayaking at its best.
The team are in high spirits as they begin the marathon 5-mile journey. But one adventurer is not enjoying himself. In training, Harry had a phobia of capsizing, and he's getting very nervous again in the ice-cold field.
Harry had this sort of nervous laugh slash whimper, being a little bit pathetic because if the boat just tilts like a tiny bit, he's like, he actually really gets on your nerves. So we decided to make it into a bit of a joke.
Shout the whimper sinks our boat in the top. Whimper to the starboard side!
I know it's really mean, but it sounds like the noise my dog makes when it's cold.
Everybody was taking the mickey out of me because I was really, really nervous on it. No, I'm allowed to get nervous. I'm 13 years old. I'm not 20. I'm not a grade 3 kayaker. I don't do sea kayaking.
The further the team paddle down the fiord, the more dramatic the scenery becomes.
How amazing is this?
The sheer scale of it is brilliant. Awesome. It's huge.
It's so amazing. Out there, you just think there's small little like waterfalls running down. You get here, you can't believe how massive they are. I just love it.
After 3 hours of kayaking, they approach the glacier at the end of the fiord. It's an awe-inspiring sight, but Sybil has only one thing on her mind. Unfortunately, her teammate David is completely preoccupied with the view.
How amazing is this?
It's not even paddling.
Look how amazing that is.
Can you just carry on paddling, please?
After successfully burying the hatchet for most of the journey, tensions are rising once more.
Paddle.
No, look at the glacier. When did you ever get this close to the glacier? Never. Oh, don't get stroppy. Yes. Right, Sybil, I'll get you there as quick as I can now, okay?
I don't play, you drive.
That's very nice. Thanks a lot for that. Oh, oh, look at that glacier. Let's go backwards. Yay, backwards. That's always fun to do. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go really slowly and enjoy the glacier now.
Woohoo!
As Sybil finally makes it ashore, relations with David hit a new low.
Happy now?
Shut up! I really am not in the mood for you, David. David, don't talk to me.
Sybil's in a Sybil strop.
You're really one of the worst people I've ever met in my life.
Oh, that's a shame, Sybil. Oh, the world is over.
I hate you so much. I hate you with all my heart.
Big words.
But Ted.
Oh, I feel so hurt.
No sooner do they finish the journey than the sudden storm starts to brew up.
Wow, it was quite good timing.
What a gorgeous day, and then...
Shelter in the trees?
Yeah. You just want to just keep moving, Harry. Yeah? Keep nice and warm, Sybil. Just keep nice and warm, okay?
After the latest clash with David, Sybil is distraught.
He just kept going on about how I'm an insensitive person and saying, oh, go on, have a little strop, I kept winding me up. And I said, wait, Dave, I kept telling him, stop. I said, I hate him, I'm not joking.
No, you don't mean that. You don't mean that.
I mean,
He may have got under your skin and you may dislike him at this moment in time, but you don't really hate him.
I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I think a bit of Michael Jackson's going on. Oh, dude.
In contrast, David seems determined not to let the incident get to him.
Sybil, okay, she wanted to go to the toilet, but This is an amazing sight to see, especially when kayaking. Yeah, and I didn't want to ruin it. So now I seriously don't understand what I've done to upset her. It's stupid, really, and I think it's quite funny, her shouting in my face.
Is it worthwhile yourself and David sitting down and just having a little natter? Just the two of you?
No.
Well,
Not now.
because the problem is that he probably doesn't realise that he's been insensitive and done anything wrong. And you've got a big issue with it, because you can't stand the sight of him at the moment, because you can't look at him. And that can't continue for the next 2 weeks. And he's got to be a lot more caring and aware of what he says and how that affects other people. But similarly, you've got to not allow someone like that to get to you. And there'll be times when you really want to explode and you just have to button your lip, yeah, and just sit on it and allow yourself to calm down.
Come on, David.
The plan is to spend the night bivvying, sleeping rough on the beach without tents. But the weather is showing no sign of improvement.
I'm freezing. Ooh, it's right over the top of us. Ooh.
We could bivvy, yeah, and we'd be fine. It just means that our sleeping bags and everything will get wet. You'll be warm enough, it's just that you could wring out about 3 bucketfuls of water out the bottom of your sleeping bag in the morning. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move you guys back onto Valhalla, and we'll stay on Valhalla tonight, OK?
It would have been a really brilliant opportunity to sleep here, like right next to the glacier as well, which is absolutely fantastic. But practically the whole trip is dependent on the weather, so if the weather doesn't let us, then it doesn't.
Right, watch the ice here.
It's a cold, wet team that heads back to the shelter of Valhalla, where David takes on the role of ship's entertainer, even while washing up.
You gotta get the water hot, got to get the water hot. You gotta get the water hot, then you gotta put it in the green tub. Washing up liquid goes in. Don't use too much or Ben shouts, oh, you're using too much.
I've been doing this like half an hour and he's washed up 1 mug and a bowl.
You give it to the handsome David who tries it, yeah.
It's an amazing transformation. Just a few days ago, he felt excluded and alone.
Feel a bit left out.
I really miss my mate.
You miss your friends?
Yeah. It's hard. I never knew it was going to be this hard.
Last week I was kind of adjusting to people, and I was feeling a bit homesick and missing my mates a lot, but now I really feel like that. My happy self was mad and random, and that's great. On top of the world.
After Ben's chat, Sybil is prepared to try to patch things up with David.
I said I hate him. I hated him with all my guts, all my power. But I don't anymore. I don't hate him anymore. I'm just not in the mood for him. And I'm going to have to sort it out because I can't go on in this trip without sorting it out.
But just as one problem starts to fade, another is surfacing. After Harry's 2 difficult days of kayaking, many of the team are getting very frustrated with him.
Some people are starting to annoy me at the moment. Whoa! Harry, I've put up with him all day and I've tried my best to, you know, not freak out too much at him.
No, Charlotte. Well, every time we tip, I feel really scared, okay? That's what, okay?
And it's just starting to get really annoying.
It's one thing being scared, it's another thing whimpering non-stop, which is just not funny anymore.
With all the teasing earlier, Harry's spirits are at a low.
I really felt horrible on it, and I just want to go home. I really want to go home, because I miss my bed, I miss my family, and it's just really horrible.
The leaders are keeping a close eye on the situation.
Harry's taken an awful lot. He's not as involved as he could be or should be, and other members of the team should be more welcoming and tolerant of Harry and his strengths and weaknesses.
It's been a grueling 24 hours, and next morning, Valhalla is like a ghost ship. The exhausted team have all slept through their 7 a.m. wake-up. Not for the first time, Ben has his work cut out to raise them.
Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. Absolute silence. Wakey, wakey, time to get up.
Come on, no more elephant seal impressions, everyone.
I must have went into a really deep sleep last night, and so when I woke up, I actually thought I was at my house, and I couldn't, and then I opened my eyes and realised we were on a boat, but I couldn't remember why, so that was quite scary.
Today the adventurers need to continue their voyage, sailing back out of the fjord towards the open sea. They're heading down Canal Coburn, anchoring overnight along the way, ready to head out into the Pacific. It's now day 11 of the expedition, and the 8 adventurers have spent almost the entire time living together in a tiny space. Cabin fever is taking hold again.
Like chickens in a pen. Chickens with lots of random pieces of clothing scattered everywhere.
See, tell them you get cabin fever, you're going crazy, you hear me?
Our bed is a corridor and everyone dumps stuff on it and sits on it and then everything gets lost.
I get no room. You can't even sit down to put any clothes on because everyone else is sitting down and putting their clothes on.
I want to be able to just go and sit on my own or go for a walk. I just want like 10 minutes on my own for just 10 minutes.
Get my sanity back.
The team have found it's like being in a pressure cooker, where the tiniest issues are magnified out of all proportion. And later in the day, the simple matter of a fish supper is about to spark one of the biggest rows of the trip.
Oh my God! Oh wow! Wow!
A huge fish has been caught by Expedition Doctor Antonia while the adventurers are away kayaking.
It's called
a pink ling.
It's like a salad.
You're like a 2-year-old. Touch the pretty fishy.
Cook it and eat it.
How much meat is on
Oh,
there?
wicked.
It's a nice fish, isn't it?
Ah, that is skanky. Right, get it right, because that's all meat.
They head up on deck for the messy business of gutting the fish.
No, that's not meat, that's gut.
Don't drop it in the sea. I want to play with it.
No, there's another fish in there, there's another fish in there.
I got the fish out.
Oh man, this is
Guys, we've got to get in.
They find a total of 3 smaller fish inside, eaten earlier by the big fish.
It looks like an alien. Oh, it's terrible.
Pop the fish out.
David,
Oh, David, please chuck it over the board. Chuck. Seriously,
No,
David,
this
throw it
is
away.
dessert.
Please, shopkeeper shit.
I've ever seen.
I found the passage seat its mouth.
Fooling around with the fish is starting to upset some of the group.
It's a bit sick, to be honest. Not particularly the actual gutting of it, just the way they're going about it. You know, playing with the mouth and stuff.
It's alive, Harry, it's alive, whoa!
I don't even know whether I could be able to bring myself to eat it. It's kind of enough to put you off. Look at his mouth.
Slice it in half, slice it in half.
I think you're going about this slightly wrong.
Why?
Why?
It's a dead animal.
Yeah, you're being a bit disgusting about it.
What do you
Would
want to
stop
do?
it? Would
I think you should treat it with a bit more respect.
Yeah, but
Be quiet. I'm going to go down now.
I'm going to really respect this fish.
Well, if you're not going to respect the fish, could you just respect us?
It's a fish. Let's all be in tears about gutting it. We've got to eat it.
There's a difference between gutting it and completely
it's a
mauling
fish.
it.
You want to try pulling that stuff out? It's
Yeah.
not easy. You literally have to maul at it.
And yet you're enjoying
everyone
it.
move your
It's
feet. Everyone
sick.
move your
But I have no
That's me.
objection to killing the fish and gutting the fish. It's the fact of how you're treating this fish
You
now.
have to pull it. It's so hard.
I do understand.
Yeah,
because
you're
you're pulling the
obviously
stomach stuff out.
Harry, it's a fish.
It's actually quite fun finding out what's in the fish's heart and getting its lung, its liver. It's really nice to know where it actually came from.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't see why you have to play with its inside.
And take out its stomach and...
Harry, Katie and Callum have been saying, give it respect, it's dead. Who cares? We're gutting fish, it's a dead fish. And anyway, it's a fish.
You're enjoying pulling out its inside and playing with it.
David pulled out the half-digested fish and started wiggling that around, and I said to them, guys, I think you're being a bit disrespectful to this fish, and they completely did not understand where I was coming from.
Oh, I've just burst the eyes.
They were juggling with it. They were like putting it in people's faces and
I thought it was so disrespectful and inhumane the way they treated that fish.
I really don't want to touch the fish.
And their response was, well, it's a fish. Well, yeah, but fishes are living creatures.
I don't think everyone should fall out over a fish. I think fish that's already dead that we just have to eat, because, to be honest, I think it's amazing that we've got a fish that's been caught where we are. I don't see why people just can't enjoy the fact that we get to cook our own food and do everything instead of just taking it out of a packet. And I don't want to fall out with these people because I want to live on a boat with them. I'm seriously starting to go crazy.
When it comes to cooking the fish, Callum and Katie insist on being in charge.
I'm going to cook the fish because I believe that the fish deserves way more respect than what the guys have been giving it.
In the confined space, the argument's soon heating up again.
What you want to say is, can you stop accusing us of playing with the fish and being unhumane? Being unhumane. We were looking at it because it's interesting. You never get to see that.
Did you see what David was doing with
Hang on. Okay, David played with the fish, but that's just David. David doesn't count.
That's not a valid excuse. Oh, well, David played with the excuse, but that doesn't count because it's David.
David chopped off its head and started feeding the undigested fish back into the head. Sorry, I hate you. You find it funny. Yeah.
Robin, you just don't understand at all.
They all got really angry with me, the fact that I was like insensitive and I couldn't see their point of view. I can see their point of view, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, but to complain that we're playing with the fish and that's not very humane and you've got to treat it humanely even though it's dead. It's just, I don't get it. It's just...
Next plate.
At last, thoughts turn from fighting to food.
I tasted it.
It's one of the best things I've ever tasted in my life.
I also go butter. It tastes really good. It tastes really fresh as well, doesn't it?
That's delicious.
It's going to plate.
Despite preparing the fish, Callum and Katie decide to take a stand and refuse to have any.
I would have eaten the fish if they hadn't been so cruel to it. I just wanted to show that I wasn't okay with that. And I know it seems silly, respecting a fish, but I thought it was just disgusting, really.
Don't go into this
and then they go.
It doesn't work.
For the leaders, it's no surprise that such intense conflicts keep flaring up on board.
The key thing about cabin fever is it's bound to happen. You know, 12 people living in close confines with one another on a boat and you can't get away from one another. You have to learn the ability to get on with people. And that's what these young people are doing. But it's kind of like going, guys, you just need to be a bit more sensitive to one another.
Next time on Serious Ocean, camping out in a giant cave.
Just an amazing place to wake up in.
A serious shower in an icy stream. And confronted for teasing Harry.
Really sorry.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
We're
as well.
complete. Yeah.